Damn, y'all getting 3 videos in a day from me, man. And look at this. Shams is on the board, man, reporting his trades. Looks like Minnesota is getting themselves a new point guard in Monte Morris. So the Timberwolves are sending Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and 1 second-round pick to Detroit for Monte Morris. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was just doing ab crunches and everything up at the gym, and I ran back to my apartment and everything to go record this, so I'm a little bit tired right now, a little bit sweaty, don't worry about it. But I like this trade in general. We've been saying throughout this kind of trade deadline season, honestly most of the season when talking about the Timberwolves, that they need another point guard. My idea wasn't quite a Monte Morris type. I pictured them going after more of like a scoring guard because I think they could use another shot creator in their backcourt. But you know what? There's not always a great way to make that happen. And I think they addressed a lot of needs by going after Monte Morris. For those of you that aren't familiar with Monte Morris's game, he's been a very quality NBA player for a while now. He's been out for most of this season. I don't exactly remember what the injury was or anything, so don't really look at his numbers right now. He's just been kind of trying to find his footing in Detroit a little bit with limited minutes and everything, so it looks like he'll kind of get to pick things up with Minnesota whenever they throw him into the lineup, and he can start working his way back into basketball shape. But historically, Monte Morris, very, very, very efficient basketball player, a very quality three-point shooter, which is something that Minnesota needs, a very elite ball handler, doesn't turn the ball over much at all, but generates like a lot of assists, knows how to play with star players and everything. Monte Morris is a great player. I like this. This moves McLaughlin to the bench for them, and they're losing 2 players in Shake Milton and Troy Brown who weren't really contributing anything that crazy to this team. Shake Milton's had quite a fall off this year, and I don't know, maybe he just didn't fit with Minnesota, but like I like Shake Milton's game a lot. Like he had been building up the 3-point shot and everything. I know it's been a little inconsistent historically, but like I always loved his defense, and I like that he could kind of guard point, a 2, and then even like some 3s if you really needed him to. I just liked the versatility of him combined with the shooting. Thought he was a nice player. It hasn't really worked out for them this year. And then as far as Troy Brown goes, I don't know, like he doesn't feel like he does anything like well necessarily. Like the 3-point shot has been pretty good the past 2 seasons and everything. Honestly, 3 seasons it hasn't been like bad. It's not like a high clip or anything, but he's not like an elite defender. He's not like an elite scorer, ball handler or anything. So I'm just kind of always pretty with when it comes to Troy Brown. If we look at his contract too, so he had a team option for this year anyway, so who knows if they were going to actually bring him back. I don't know what Shake Milton's contract was. Looks like the exact same thing. Okay, a little bit more money though. And you bring in Monte Morris, who's on the last year of his contract this year, so Detroit, second move you've made today, right? That's pretty interesting. I'm guessing it's not going to be the last one, right? So you bring in 2 players that you assume will help finish out the year. Again, they're at least some established NBA players. I don't know if any of them crack your rotation. Maybe Shake Milton does with Monte Morris out. I don't know about Troy Brown. That just seems like a position that they kind of have filled up at this point. But you got 2 guys that, you know, you take on for this year. If you want him back next year, great. You get a trial run of him. But if not, you got a 2nd-round pick for Monte Morris. That's probably the best you're going to get out of him since he's been banged up this year and everything. But if you were to ask a lot of other GMs around the NBA, I think a lot of them would have told you they want to have Monte Morris on the team. Like if you ask the Denver Nuggets, like, hey, like if we gave you a 2nd-round pick and we get back Monte Morris, they would have been like, oh, in a moment, I'm doing that. In a absolute moment. My shoulders are tightening up right now because I was just on the ab wheel thing. But no, I think this is going to help Minnesota a lot. Again, just having a quality defensive player, a guy that can help play make and facilitate and stuff, and just another guy to take some ball handling duties away from some of the other guys on this team. I think it's going to go a really long way. We'll see if they make any other moves or anything to try to build out some more of the bench, but they also clear up a roster spot by doing this, which we assume Minnesota is going to be pretty active in the buyout market. We thought maybe a Kyle Lowry or something was going to be an option for them, but that's probably not necessary anymore. So I'm going to assume that they're going to target like some wings or something like that, or maybe they find a way to get another scoring guard. We don't know who's going to be on the market yet, but I'll be very interested to see. Finally, just last thoughts with Detroit and everything. I think the moves have made sense today. So far, obviously, you brought in a guy in Fontecchio who's going to help you just get a little bit better right away, bring a stronger veteran presence to the team and everything. Monte Morris would have been a good guy to do that as well with this team, but considering you're probably going to lose him and you can get a 2nd-round pick for him, and you've got plenty of guards that can play anyway, that you want to try and put the ball in their hands and see what happens. Like, I'm pretty okay with this move, honestly. Like, these are all small moves that are being made so far today, but you can see the strategy behind them, and I don't think there's necessarily been a bad trade yet. I mean, Minnesota wasn't going to use any of these guys, right? Detroit probably isn't going to use them crazy either, but at least they get something from Monte. Timberwolves feel a real big need by kind of establishing a new backup point guard. Now, Monte's going to play a lot of minutes for him once he's established. So I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see how they fit him in. Nice to have another shooter on the team. And yeah, y'all are going to have to let me know with this one, man, because this is an interesting one. Would have liked to see them get another scoring guard. Maybe they can address that in the buyout market. Maybe there's another deal coming. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Make sure you subscribe and everything. I'll be trying to cover these trades as quickly as possible. I'm going to go back to my workout now as soon as I finish editing this. But yeah, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.